In the kingdom of Arvian, a hidden blade lay buried beneath a sleeping rose tree. Its name was whispered only by ghosts, a silver Thorn's sword. A young squire named Ellen dreamed of becoming a knight, though she owned nothing but her courage. One night, a star fell and lit the path to the forbidden rose garden. The garden glimmered with frost despite the summer air. Each rose bent as if listening to a secret. Ellen felt drawn to the roots, where silver light pulsed like a heartbeat. She reached down, her hands trembling. Her fingers brushed cold steel wrapped in living thorns. The sword hummed, a sound like distant bells. "Take me," a voice whispered, soft as petals but edged with power. Ellen's breath caught. She tugged, and the roots shuddered, releasing the blade with a shower of glowing sparks. The thorns unwound and turned into silver feathers. As she held it, a rush of memories not her own filled her mind. She saw battles, betrayals, and a dragon crowned in moonlight. A shadow rose from the garden, a knight in cracked armor. "Return what is not yours," it hissed. Ellen swung the blade and silver vines leaped from it, wrapping the specter. The ghost dissolved into mist. She fled the garden as the roses closed behind her like a wall. The sword pulsed warm in her hand. In the village square, bells tolled though no one had rung them. People whispered of omens. Ellen hid the sword under her cloak and ran to the old hermit by the cliffs. He had eyes like moonlight and scars like maps. "The silver thorn chooses only once every age," he said. "It will lead you where you are needed." That night she dreamt of a castle shrouded in thorny fog. A pale king wept on a throne of roots. She awoke with the sword glowing and pointing east. She followed it into the dawn. Crows circled above a ruined bridge. Their wings left trails of black petals in the air. Ellen stepped onto the bridge and silver vines sprouted beneath her boots, holding it firm. The sword whispered, "Courage." On the far bank, a girl with glass eyes and no shadow waited. She smiled, but it was a broken smile. "The Thorn King watches," the girl said, handing Ellen a silver key. Then she vanished like smoke. Ellen pressed on, the forest turning darker and older. Trees twisted into shapes of crying knights. She raised the sword and light streamed from its edge, showing a hidden path of silver leaves. She walked it until night fell. In a clearing, a stag with thorns instead of antlers bowed to her. It knelt, letting her pass. Thunder rolled, though no storm showed. The sword quivered in her hand. A gate of living bramble rose from the ground. Taller than towers, it hissed like serpents. Ellen touched the key to the gate and it unraveled into silver moths. Beyond lay a castle of stone and roots. Inside, halls whispered in walls, bled rose petals. Shadows clung like wet cloth. On a stair of black thorns, a masked knight blocked her path. "The king waits," it murmured. They fought and sparks flew. Silver against steel. Ellen's blade struck true and vines wrapped the night, turning it to ash. At the throne room doors, the sword glowed so bright it blinded her. She pushed them open. The Thorn King sat bound by his own roots, crown cracked, eyes pale as winter. "Release me or slay me," he begged. "Why are you bound?" she asked. He whispered of a curse he cast to save his people. but it turned on him. The sword trembled between her hands, caught between mercy and wrath. She remembered the ghost, the girl, the stag. Ellen lowered the blade and touched it to the roots. Silver vines spread like fire through the throne. The thorns melted into blossoms, the roots loosening their grip. The king gasped as light returned to his eyes. "You chose mercy," the sword whispered. It felt lighter, warmer, alive. The castle walls cracked, and sunlight poured in. The curse lifted like a veil. The king knelt before Ellen and offered her the crown. She shook her head and placed it on his. Instead, the sword dissolved into a silver rose in her palm. "You will always have its strength," the king said. She left the castle as dawn broke, the forest blooming with silver flowers where she walked. Birds sang her name. In the village, no one whispered omens anymore. Children played with roses made of light. At night, Ellen placed the silver rose on her window sill. It glowed softly, reminding her that mercy can be sharper than any sword.